I said, yo, what's up, everybody? I'm Amara. This is Amara's Logic. Got a new video for you today. Green Bay Packers trades, rumors, and news. Before we get into it, you know the spiel. Comment, like, subscribe, and share this electrifying content with a damn. What just happened in the fourth quarter? What was that? Oh, friends and family, Packer Nation, y'all know we're here to talk about this nasty L we just took in Cleveland versus the Cleveland Browns, where our offense was completely stifled by the Browns defense. Not that our defense didn't play well, we made critical mistakes in the fourth quarter that cost us this game. Very unfortunate. A lot of us were concerned about this game. We knew the Browns had a good defense. We were concerned this could be a trap game, and this is exactly what happened. We could do nothing offensively in this game. Everything was hard. It seems like Myles Garrett was camping in the backfield most of this game. I mean, Jordan Love was under duress most of this game. Not to say Flacco wasn't, but it seemed like a lot more pressure was coming from the Cleveland Browns side. We had this game. There's no excuses. We were up 10-0 going in the fourth quarter and completely disintegrated. It was a few key plays I want to hone on. And I keep telling y'all, I don't like this dude. Quay Walker cannot think out there. He is the reason that big run was allowed out there and another one not playing zone correctly. I know a lot of y'all like Quay Walker. I am not a fan. If what the rumors were true that we could have got a third round pick or a fourth round pick for Quay Walker, I wish he was out of here. I just do not like his. If it's something where he doesn't have to think, where he can just go a straight line, he's cool. But if there's any sort of thinking involved or any mental part of the game, he can't do it. In the long run, we got a great defense. I know all that, but in the long run, if your middle linebacker isn't bright, it's going to be a problem against good teams. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. He is a problem due to the lack of awareness. He just doesn't have it. I'm telling y'all. I'm not just trying to harp on him, but I am trying to harp on him because your middle linebacker got to be smart, man. Got to be smart. Jesus, I can't believe we choked like that. We couldn't do anything. Couldn't pass, couldn't run, couldn't block. The defense played well, though, but shout out to the defense. I know that they choked a little bit down the stretch, but they held it together long as they could, and I just felt like our offense should have been able to do much more against the Cleveland Browns defense. I mean, 10 points. I just felt like there's a couple of times that Jordan Love held the ball too long, a couple of times where he should have checked it down. I also thought we should have been more creative with the play call instead of running it up the gut when that wasn't working. I did like the slight adjustment as going like as far as more toss plays and stretch runs. I felt like that was a nice adjustment, but we just couldn't get anything done. And I also want to say it wasn't really receivers getting separation today. Also, it wasn't like that Jordan Love had all these targets wide open. It wasn't like that. They were not getting separation. And I do know that part of that is due to the pass rush. I get that. But still, our receivers were not getting separation. That is a problem. And that was a huge problem in this game. No one was getting separation. Our offense was suffocated. And this is some of the reason where people be like, hey, the Packers need a go-to receiver. Somebody that can create and get that separation. These are the type of games where people will point at and say that's why the Packers need a number one receiver, someone that can get open no matter what, or you can toss it to and double coverage and they have a chance. We don't currently have that as of yet. I do think people have talent like Wicks. I think he has talent. I think Golden has talent. I think Dobbs has talent. But I just don't know how high their ceiling is and if they can be that. I had, like I said, I have my faith in Golden. I think he can do it over time. But as a receiver stand right now, I just don't see anybody that can get the separation needed uh, under a pass rush like that. It's just we got to figure that out. And I also thought with the play calling, I would have loved to see more like running back draws. And the reason I'm saying that is because when you're being blitzed up the middle like that, the quickest way to and playing Madden, I'm using my Madden experience now. If somebody's blitzing me up the middle, I'm gonna do running back draws because that's gonna take advantage of the pass rush and just give. I'm already at the second level once I hike the ball because everybody else is coming in the backfield and I'm going forward. I just think there were simple things that could have been done possibly to make this game easier. I also thought on the LaFleur side we should have saw more bubble screens as well. To try to get people. But I saw it a little bit at the beginning, but I think more things like that should have been instituted because when you have bubble screens, those can be used as pseudo run plays. You get what I'm saying? When the run game isn't working, you have to think a little outside of the box to create the type of run, and that's what bubble screens do. Jet sweeps do. I just think when we saw that our normal game plan wasn't working, we should have got more creative and started using people in a different type of way. I saw the little wildcat and all that, but we needed more of that in this game because our traditional play calling was getting stuff left and right. We could do nothing. So that's one thing I would like to see from LaFleur in the future is when things are really not working to really go outside the box, and I think we needed that today. I also think with the receivers being so locked down that I thought that we should have been looking for Kraft a bit more as well, and maybe emphasizing Kraft as the main receiver, seeing that the other ones weren't really able to get open. And I know Kraft can get open. I thought we should have did more things to get Kraft the ball. There was little things, it was nothing consistent. That was the problem. There was flashes of things that were working, but it was never done consistently. Our defense played bad in the fourth, but I want to give them credit because they played strong until then, and the offense did not give them any rest in the fourth quarter with the 3 and outs, the penalties. We just played very poorly in the fourth quarter, and we gave Cleveland life by poor plays, pass interference, all that type of stuff. Man, wearing number 20 is damn near bad luck as a cornerback on the Packers. Hey, was Kevin King number 20 as well? Let me know in the comment section. You might have to get rid of that number. Number 20 on our defense don't be working out that well. Real talk. Just saying. Salute to friends and family. I'm gonna get into the stats and all that. I just needed to get that off my chest because that was hard to watch how that ended. That was crazy. Crazy. I'm gonna get to let me shout out who in the building. I'm gonna get into these numbers. What up, Greg Delaney? Salute. BKC in the building. Brandon King Carter, OG Queen of the chat. Tish in the building. Eric Payne, what's good? Jonathan Porter, what's good? Appreciate you. The homie Dre West in the building. What's good? Travis, what's good? Appreciate you tapping in. K Real, what's good? Appreciate you tapping in. Mr. Cool, the living legend. What's good? Appreciate you tapping in. Yeah, this was a hard one. What up, Francis? Derek Stevenson in the building. What's good? Appreciate y'all tapping in. What up, Moose? Appreciate you tapping in. Yeah, this is a nasty. What up, Sherelle? Salute. Salute. Appreciate y'all tapping in. I'm going to get... what up, Jeff? The other thing I do want to comment on defense is Micah Parsons is a real difference maker on our defense. They had 3 people trying to chip him the same way we had 3 people trying to trying to chip Myles Garrett. So we got a little bit of our own cooking, to be honest. The way that we were defending Myles Garrett was allowing other people to get to the quarterback, like Collins and the other people, because we have 3-on-1. The same way Micah Parsons is 3-on-1 on our side and allowed Rashawn Gary to have a big game. I want to give Rashawn Gary his credit. He is a much different player since we got this Kenny Clark character out of the building. Rashawn Gary is looking like an all-pro defensive end right now. He is creating havoc back there. So I want to give him a shout-out because I've been bombing on him for years, and I didn't know that Kenny Clark was holding you back. I want to apologize to you, Rashawn Gary. I had no clue Kenny Clark was holding you back like that, and this is how you can play when you got a good player on the opposite side. So shout out to Rashawn Gary. Let's get into these numbers. We're going to get to the comments, and then I'm going to open up these lines. Crazy the Packers lost to the Browns, to Joe Flacco. How you lose to Joe Flacco? Ain't Joe Flacco like 46? Damn. Packers lose a heartbreaker, 10-13 on the road in a game they had full control and had a complete collapse in the fourth quarter, allowing 13 unanswered points. Jordan Love with a very pedestrian effort. He threw that pick too, was a bad one. 18-25, 183, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. That's not gonna get it. One pick. I'm sorry. That's not gonna get it done. Josh Jacobs was completely shut down. 16 carries, 30 yards. 31 carries for 81 yards, 2.6 yards a carry. They shut our running game down completely. We have to give them credit. This is Matthew Golden's best game of the season so far. Four receptions, 52 yards. And then Josh Jacobs having five receptions for 44 yards, being our second leading receiver. You already know that there's a problem offensively. If Josh Jacobs is our second leading receiver, you already know there's problems offensively. Tucker Kraft, only 3 catches, 29 yards. Nobody did anything. All right? The offense was stagnant. We looked terrible out there. We looked absolutely terrible. Damn, man. But again, I want to shout out Rashawn Gary with his 2 sacks. He played really well today. I know Quay Walker has 14 total tackles out there, 6 solo. It looks good unless you're watching the film and where those tackles are happening. They're not tackles for a loss. You see that? This is what you would want to see. Maybe if there was 6 instead of 6 here would make a difference. 14 tackles just mean you tackle somebody downfield for all I care, so it's not that big of an impact. I want Quay Walker off this team. I'm standing on business. Quay Walker is not. I want him off of this team. I'm dead serious with that. Joe Flacco, no touchdowns, 1 pick. He averaged 3.9 yards a pass, and we lost. Quinshawn Judkins, 18 carries, 94 yards, 5.2 yards a carry. Way too much. And it's not like they did anything. They just... We shouldn't have lost this game. The self-destruction in the 4th quarter was crazy. The low IQ plays, not paying attention. Also, I want to say Hafley was being way too conservative today with all this zone coverage. I saw way too much zone coverage. You got an old quarterback there. Bring the damn heat. Bring the damn heat. He's 40-something. Why are you showing him respect? Bring the damn heat. I just think it was a little bit of poor coaching offensively and defensively that cost us this game late. Period. That's how I feel about it. We shouldn't have lost this game. This was crazy. Look at the sacks. Look at everybody chipping in, getting pressure. Packers better lace them up for the Cowboys too, because y'all know that's a rivalry game. I really thought we was gonna come in there with some momentum. Now we better come in there with anger. I'm very disappointed in the 4th quarter and how we played today. I'm extremely disappointed. Seriously, that was crazy. How you choke like that? And you can't. I mean, it's hard to blame the defense when the offense isn't giving you anything. They weren't giving you anything. Like, damn, when you needed it. That was crazy to pack. I can't believe they went out like that, y'all. I'm dead serious. I just can't believe they went out like that. That was crazy. That was absolutely crazy that the Packers went out like that. Let's get into these comment section. These fools out here playing with their food. What up, Nick? Nick said the loss was on the offense. I agree with that. That's fair. That's fair. K Real said if we can dish it to teams, we have to be able to take it. That's true. We got a little bit of our own medicine. Mr. Cool, it was so obvious that we should have been blitzing. It was insane. Our cornerbacks aren't terrible. Help them by giving them less time to cover the receivers by bringing the heat. I just don't understand what Hafley was thinking today. He got too cute for his own good. He got way too cute for his own good. Ridiculous. Shout out to Mr. Cool. Big 49 said all those penalties in the second half had wounded us, but the interception broke our back. Correct. His first interception of the year that Jordan Love threw was at the worst possible time. There was numerous factors that cost us this game. It's not one person or one part of the team that's responsible. Offense wasn't good when we needed to be, and the defense couldn't hold when we needed them to hold. So blame is to go all around. But I do want to hold the coaching staff accountable too for play calling and lack of adjustments to really shut this game down and put it out of reach. We should have been up like 17-0, to be honest. There's a lot that we could have done better that we didn't. Jonathan said, give credit to the Browns defense is nice, but not that damn nice. No, the Browns defense is good, bro. Like, let's not play them games. They were getting pressure, and I know our offensive line ain't trash. And they was running over Kraft, and y'all know Kraft is a legit blocker, and they was running over Kraft. Like, that was crazy. No, the Browns offense is anemic, but their defense is elite. That defense is good. Don't sleep. That defense is good. Let's not play them games. That defense is good. What up, Bleach? Let me get to some of these comments. I'm gonna tap you in a minute, bro. Yeah, it's a tough loss. You losing to a 40-year-old quarterback is gonna be a tough loss. And you know they don't have any. And this is the thing. This is why I'm mad. Hatefully, you know that the Browns don't have anybody on their team that can take the top off of the defense. Why are you not being aggressive? Matt LaFleur, why are you not telling him to be aggressive? There's no fear of a deep threat. You have no fear of a deep threat. There's no reason to be playing zone. No one is going to outrun your safeties. You could have had a too high safety, have one of the linebackers roaming in the middle, and then bring heat in a nickel formation so you have enough speed on the field in case of anything. These are all basic things you learn in a Madden tutorial, right? When you first get the new Madden, they put you through the tutorial where you go through all the different scenarios. These are all there. If they just played Madden, we would have played better today. Damn, man. It was just a lot of bonehead stuff. Ridiculous. Yes, he did get 2 offsides calls, but he did cause like 3 penalties though too. That is fair though. He did 2 offsides. I agree. John DePort said, I see the Brew getting to the final. I hope they get to it. I hope so. I hope so. That tackles for loss matter, bro. The Quay Walker don't have no tackles for loss. I'm telling y'all off the rip, I don't mess with Quay Walker at all. I don't mess with Quay Walker at all. Y'all ain't gonna sell him to me because I'm watching the game and I'm seeing him out there looking like a damn fool. Seriously, like a damn fool. That was ridiculous. Francis, they're definitely gonna have to get better next game, 100%. I hope you feel good, Dre. I hope you feel good. Y'all got lucky too. Y'all got lucky. Damn. This was ridiculous. I can't believe we went out like that. Tish was like, well, that was it was ugly. That was a terrible way to end the game with that type of shame. Yeah, Eric Payne talking about the penalties. We self-destructed in the fourth quarter. Let's just keep it real, y'all. We self-destructed in the fourth quarter. That's really what happened. We just self-destructed, period. Same, Dre. Same. It's coming soon. 100%, Jeff. 100%. 100%. Mr. Cool said, "I'm no football expert, but professional sports, you have to be mentally strong, and we were not in the fourth quarter. That's a fact. That's a fact. We completely unraveled. I 100% agree with that. We completely unraveled. Let me tap in Bleacher for his breakdown here. You ready? VP in the building, y'all. Hold on. Let me get Bleacher in here. What happened today, man, Bleacher? What happened, man? What happened?
I'm heated, man.
Right.
That game. This is what I was afraid of. This I was afraid about this game. I say, guys, I was like, man, it's gonna be a tough game because I already knew.
No, I want to give you your credit. No. I want to give you your credit. That's 100%. 100%. You said that.
They had their chances. Like the thing that I didn't get is you can't run the ball on this defense. Run it like go to the outside. Use those screens more. Get the guys outside. Force those linemen to not be a factor. But
Right.
they just wanted to be in their big head. I think the Packers did was look past them. They looked past Cleveland
Yeah.
and Dallas Cowboys, so that's on them. That's on the Packers for not take care of business. And you know, it just they had so many chances to win this game.
To put it out
They
of
had
reach, to
so
put the
many.
game out of reach. Yes, I agree.
Just the interception is probably just was the camel that just broke the camel's back. I can get mad and talk about the penalties that
That
Cleveland was
interception.
getting, the interception. I can say all that, the penalties and then our problem right now is offensive line. You know, Morgan was getting destroyed. He got 3 offensive
Holding.
false starts.
Yep.
And then Walker, he was sucking. He was just not being good. And
Right.
like our two guys that we signed on contracts with out in the first series, damn near
Yep.
not coming back.
And
Like,
that hurt us too. I think that hurt us when we lost our offensive lineman. I do think that hurt.
gotta chip Miles Garrett every play like he do Marco Parsons, and I just
Yep.
think that. But I was also feeling that Cleveland was getting away a lot of calls. They was getting away a lot of calls, but they don't matter. Like you can play through that. If you can just play through it, one play can change everything.
We were up
Just
10-0 in the fourth. Our team is too good to lose them type of games.
it was an ugly loss, and I'm like you, all you Packers fans think about it. That Cleveland team ain't gonna make it. We know they ain't gonna make it, so that's how it hurts even more because we know Cleveland ain't that good, but we still lost to them.
Who's your team, Philippines? Who's your team, Tropical Tim? Who's your team? And you probably over there in Pattaya somewhere now.
He ain't gonna say. He ain't gonna say.
He ain't gonna say it. Squabble with a couple here with the disrespect. You better knock it off.
If you want to put your team up there.
Yeah.
Let me on your team.
All right, Eric Payne said it's cool. Shake this off. Take care of Dallas. But I've noticed our Achilles heel is penalties. Keep people in the game. We also need to put points on the board. 100%. That's 100%. 100%.
Know your personnel. If you know you can't run on them in the middle, why are you running balls in the middle? Why are you running the middle?
I was saying the same thing. I'm like, what are y'all doing? It took them to the second half to realize they need to do more stretch. But even then, where were the delayed handoffs, draws, things like that? That's how you stop an aggressive offense, a defense. That's 1, 2, 3. You learn that in Madden. Damn.
How did you give up? How did the Browns give up 41 points last week and we couldn't put more than 17? Like that's the part I'm just keep thinking to myself. How did the Ravens destroy them?
But I think that's also we might have taken them a bit lightly. Because I think after we saw what the Ravens did, we were like, oh, we're gonna run it up on them too. I don't think they respected their opponent enough. Now they're gonna get the respect. This was a nasty L. I'm not gonna sugarcoat this at all. This was a nasty L, unnecessary. The reason these L's hurt you because if you go back and look during the season, if you could have got this win, you would have been in a different position in the playoffs. This could be one of them games.
Yeah. Now you got the Eagles. They're 3-0. Buccaneers 3-0. Like now, like you now, like the talk's gonna be different now. Everybody now, people in the chat already talking. Yeah, you ain't that team.
Yeah, just after that, they be waiting for the loss. That's what these trolls do. That's what these trolls do. Never put a face to the name. Who are these people with these comments? They never have a face when they make these reckless comments. Who are these people? Put a face to the comment. They'll never do it. Born from coward parents and produced a coward child. Go ahead, though, Bleacher.
Oh my! But what?
No, we were just saying now that how we should not have lost this game regardless of what was going on. We were up 10-0, and the mental mistakes, as Mr. Cool was saying, is really what cost us this game. We didn't play well when we needed to most. We weren't mentally tough in this game. We weren't.
And that's the thing. You can't. That's why I knew this game was gonna be tough. I said I already knew why I said the game was tough because they're not gonna have time to throw the ball, or you ain't gonna have time just to go back and try to do stuff with your offense. You're gonna have to do quick.
And
quick
you remember what I
plays.
was saying in that last game, even though we won, Jordan Love was too happy to go deep. He was waiting for all the big plays instead of just making the smart play. And I think they came in there looking for the big play instead of looking for the smart play. I just think our whole game plan for this game was wrong, which was why we struggled throughout this game.
The chip away, chip away, chip away,
Mm-hmm.
tire them out, chip away. I mean, Love has to learn to be patient. You can't just go down trying to see often to get a big play. If you got a little situation, you got a big this defensive line trying to get you in 3 seconds. You got 2 seconds to think about it, and then you got to get out of that pocket quickly. But they was doing it in the second half, but they weren't doing more of it. If
Right.
you're gonna do bootlegs, do bootlegs. Get out the pocket. Force those big old linemen to run at
Right.
you.
Hold on,
And
I'm
that's why I think
tapping
they
in.
won.
I'm about to tap in one of our favorite members of the chat. Dr. Smith, 1 minute. Let me get Mr. Cool comment here. I agree with this. If you're a true Super Bowl contender, you can't give away games. Eagles proved that today against a better team in the Rams, and that's 100% fact. When you're a championship team, that's what you do. They were down that whole game and pulled it off. That's a fact, Mr. Cool. You said you ain't no football expert, but that was a damn good analogy right there, Mr. Cool. Let me type in Dr. Smith here. I know you got a lot to say as well. This was insane. Go ahead, Dr. Smith. It's on you.
Salute to the panel. Salute to you, Amara. Salute to you, Daniel. That was the softest mentally and physically that I've seen my team play. That's the worst thing that you can call a football player, and that's why I said it. I hope it hurts. That was so soft. That was so charming soft. And I want to firstly start with the positive because I think my defense balled out
Mm-hmm.
today.
Yep, agreed.
And right, and I think that my offense, in particular, my offensive line, just let them down. That you left them out on the island. You left them out on the island. I mean, that was so bad. I'm struggling to remember the last time I felt like this about any of the teams that I support, Milwaukee Bucks
Right.
included, where you see something that is that galling, that is that charming, soft.
Facts.
So soft. These guys, and my offensive line in particular, they are number one on the list. Circle them, highlight them, and whatnot. It's times like this. In order to not be a toxic
Right.
fan, I gotta remember we're gonna stick with Christian ideals.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And,
Right.
and say the Christian thing. Remember these dudes. These are all young brothers. They're
Right.
somebody's children.
And
So I'm not gonna
somebody,
call them
and
out.
no, to that point, just to interject here briefly, somebody made a comment. This is where the youth has been showing. This is our youth showing in this game here.
In more ways than one, right? Because I honestly do feel like that team, and with good reason, but I do feel like the team was starting to buy into their hype, and they started to
Correct.
get a little more confident. You have Rasheed Walker going out and say, I honestly think that we can go 16 or 17 and 0. We can
Right.
go undefeated, which I don't have a problem with, by
Right.
the way. Right? But if you talk it, you got to walk it. Now, I don't have a problem with the statement, but I remember the first thing that I thought when he said it was, I just need you to go out and play without committing penalties. And
Correct.
sure enough,
You commit
Captain
penalty.
Rasheed Walker was out there, but Jordan Morgan, brother. Okay, so Jordan Morgan right now needs to be in the weight room right now as we speak. Right now, you need to stay in Cleveland and finish your set. Wake up tomorrow morning, do another set. Wake up on Tuesday morning, do another set, and then you can come home. And then when you come home, don't go home. Get off the plane, go to the weight room. It's too weak. It's too soft. I'm doing my very best to not call you out of your name, but you are an offensive lineman. You are one of the weakest offensive linemen that I've seen. This is not even about you being like the number one overall pick for us a couple of years. That just highlights it, but you would have been highlighted regardless of where you got picked up. It's so soft. And from that, everything else stemmed out because we can't call the game that we would like to call. Matt LaFleur is out there calling a scared and shook
Thank
game,
you.
right? So he's part of the problem, but a big part of it is because of what he can't do. So he was really out of his element. You saw that he wanted to kind of slip into longer
Mm-hmm.
producing plays in the game, and I'm yelling at the TV when he's doing that because we just don't
Can't
have the
but
time to do it. So it literally cut the entire playbook that
playbook.
we had
And
in
then
half.
consider Miles Garrett, where then you're gonna cut out other plays because of Miles Garrett and the way he could blow up those plays. So they might have had a very limited playbook.
They absolutely had a limited playbook. I mean, on the last drive, they went to the second to last drive. They went to two jet sweeps in a row,
Bro, yeah, that's
in
crazy.
a row. Oh, so
You,
I mean, it's him.
mm-hmm.
I mean, there's enough to go around,
But
right? There,
we've been giving them credit, Dr. Smith. Just interject here, brief. We've been giving them credit these first two games for winning the game in the trenches. We lost this game today in the trenches on both sides.
I don't think
We
we should have been giving them credit for winning the game in the trenches. I think we're good at pass blocking. I don't think that we're good at run blocking. That's a different
That's
animal
fair.
altogether,
That's fair.
right?
That's fair.
Run blocking, you have to move grown men against their will.
Will, right.
Pass blocking, you just have to stay with your technique in front of guys long enough that they can't get to your quarterback.
Right. I mean,
But
16
that's
carries for 30 yards is inexcusable. Less than 2 yards a carry for Josh Jacobs is crazy.
and it's not him. Cause look, there should have been a superhero moment. It still was a superhero moment. It's just that we didn't pay it off. But there was a point in the game. I think we were third and second and 18 or something like that, or
And they
first
gave
and
the ball
18.
to Jacobs.
And he broke it, like, you know
Right.
what I mean, and put on the Jets to do it. Now I know that Jacobs has got some speed, but he's not really known for his like game breaking speed.
Right.
He put on some game breaking speed to break through guys to get a necessary first down and flip the field. That's how it looked, like he had to flip the field, and the offensive line was doing such a poor job that we couldn't get anything going. So that, to me, I was fully prepared to say that was the play of the game, because out of nowhere, like, he broke tackles and then broke away with
Right.
speed to get away from the guys who were trailing him, right? But the fact that he had to, like, it wasn't just that they were physically weak. It was the mental mistakes
Mm-hmm.
constantly, right? The holdings. Like, Jordan Morgan literally played the worst game that I've seen an offensive lineman in Green
And
Bay
we
play.
also need to point out that there were a few errant throws that hurt us too by Jordan Love throughout this game too. Like if he'd have put a couple,
Bro,
yeah, like a couple of those
He didn't.
passes, if they're on point, it changes the complexion of this game as well.
He
It's
didn't
so
have the
much
touchdown.
blame. Yeah, it's so much blame to go around. It's a lot of blame
He
to
didn't
go
have.
around.
He didn't have the touch that he needed to. I think a lot
Yeah.
of that was under duress. But then, yeah, Jordan Love. Just when people are trying to, we're
Elevate
trying to
you.
turn the page on the narrative, you go out and,
Stink it up. He stunk it
bro,
up.
like the interception that he threw. Look, there's going to be a lot of people asking him that question, right? Like, what did you see that no one else saw, right? Because that was like, there's heavy traffic there, right? So I think Matt LaFleur with the play call, whatever that play call was, and I think what his execution of the play, like, there was heavy traffic in there. Like, I kind of see what he was trying to do.
Uh-huh.
Like, he's trying to throw a slant. But with all of that traffic in there, to try and fit the ball in like that, and it was such a.
oh, I can give you a play that
Uh,
was worse than that. I got a play that was worse than that. It was
what's that?
third and one, almost end of the third quarter. Just let the clock run out. You get up a good play the next quarter. No, what they do? Try to go for it. Just collect the ball. He gets sacked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Like,
everything. That's a good call.
Yeah.
Absolutely, because what you do in that position, like, if we're just talking strategy, right? If you let the play clock go out, you have the entire time, like the time in between quarters, to think about a better play.
Right.
But you rushed it, unnecessarily rushed it, and then you break away, and instead of throwing the ball away, he just kept the ball and allowed himself to be tackled for like a loss of
Lost.
15
Yeah, that one
yards.
he
Like,
could have
he
just
might
threw
have
it
been.
away. Why did you throw the ball away? That was crazy. I feel like that was pivotal. Dr. Smith. That what you're talking about. I feel like that was pivotal.
I mean, it's certainly one of them. It's absolutely one of them. And then you can see like the effect that it has, right? Because the defense, as unbelievable as they've been all season long, this game included, like you can't keep taking your defense for granted. I said this last week.
Right.
I said this last week on some other like forums and whatnot. You cannot continue to take your defense for granted. So in the
Correct.
game against Washington, right, when they got to within breathing room of us, prior to that, it looked like Green Bay went from Green Bay went from trying to win the game
To not trying to
to
lose.
trying not to lose the game. And you go in this ultra conservative garbage football that you've been doing now for multiple seasons. And it wasn't until Washington got up on your bumper that you said, okay, well let's click back into
It should never
proper
be clicked
football.
back. It should always be
Right.
on.
You
That's
should
why I
always
like
say,
Belichick. Belichick never took his foot off a team throat. If he can put up 70 on you, he gonna put up 70.
you know what I'm saying? And I got pushed back in some other places. Well, that's the right play. No, it's not. No, it is not, because it doesn't work. It doesn't work. The minute you decide to not play to
Aggressive.
lose the game, right, and you go ultra conservative, if you are in a fight and you come out and you meet somebody in the middle of the ring and you don't start throwing punches, all you're doing is coming out there like this, you're going to get punched.
Correct.
I'm sorry to announce that to people who've never been in a fight before, but if you don't come out with the appropriate level of aggression and keep it on, you're going to get punched in the face.
100%.
Now, at that point, we uh, click back in and started playing winning football again. If you were paying attention in this game, that's what happened, right? They score, it's 10-10. We immediately go down the field with winning offense.
Right.
But just because the game went the way that it did, and because our offensive line was weak the way that it was, we allowed enough penetration on the field goal attempt that the guy got his hand up and he blocked the field goal. That is the weakest offensive line. They don't look weight room strong. They just look big.
Right.
They just look big, right? And you have to be big and strong. I know that you have to have some heft, but they don't look big. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Maybe this is a
Because
maybe they needed this little kick in the butt. They was thinking too much.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
humiliating. It's humiliating. This isn't just minor. That's one of the worst teams in football offensively. Now, defensively, I think they're going to get a lot more credit. But we
Mm-hmm.
were, by DVOA standards, I'll let you guys look up that, because it's not, when you rank teams and you have like the number one ranked team and
Right.
like the number two ranked team, whatnot, the NFL.coms of the world, they'll just use yardage as their standard bearer, right? I don't think it's as accurate as it could be. DVOA, I think, is a better way of rating teams because it takes strength of schedule into consideration. It takes like game situations, etc. I don't want to like bore your life with it, but I am a bigger fan of DVOA as a way of ranking teams. We were the number one ranked offense going into that game, so it's supposed to be strength on strength. Our defense was the number one ranked defense, DVOA. The
Mm-hmm.
Browns were the number one ranked defense if you're just using yards as
Barometer. Yeah.
your differentiating factor, right? Your barometer, right? So you saw what that looked like, but we were calling the game scared, and
I
we were
agree.
calling the game scared because our offensive line turned around and were worse than we even thought.
True.
Now, I know.
Hold on. Let's get Dr. Smith a second here. Hold on.
Come back in.
Hold on. Yeah, you froze, Dr. Smith. Let me tap back in, Dr. Smith. You froze, sir. You was cooking.
He was cooking.
Let me put the link back in the chat just in case. Hold on. Tap back in, Dr. Smith. Everything he was saying was facts, though.
Well, that part, the part that I also just read is Jacobs only had 1.8 yards per carry. That's how bad it was today. One point, and like you see, the two guys got hurt. Walker got hurt, and then no Walker, no. The I don't even know Banks got hurt
Mm-hmm.
again. Like that already looked like a waste of money already. And then Morgan just looked like he wasn't ready to be out there. Like
Mm-hmm.
they they wanted to mess around with Sheet Walker. They put Sheet Walker as guard, and I'm just see. This is what you mess around and find out. Like
Right,
Morgan, you don't. This is why I get mad with the Packers trying to draft projects and not drafting guys that are actually going to play.
right.
This
That's
is
true.
what the lies with the with the draft picks. This is why I get on Gutekunst of when you draft guys, you got to make sure you draft guys that's actually going to play, not just we're going to move him to guard or we're going to move him to outside on tackle because we want to platoon these
Right.
guys. No,
But
draft your
but I will say that Jeff has a point. The offensive line was beat up. We were not healthy from the beginning of the game. And then
yeah,
what you're saying is now the backside of that is we don't get people, we don't draft people that are ready to play. We're drafting projects, and then when they have to play early, this is what you see.
exactly right. You got it, and right on the head. You got it. Right on the head, right on the nose. There you
Right.
go.
And that's true though. That is part of the Packer philosophy. But even with that being said, the offensive linemen that came in there, they look scared. They didn't look confident to me. They looked like a deer in the headlights, and it showed.
Because they got to block Miles Garrett.
Yeah, I agree.
They and Miles Garrett had his way a little bit, but it's like, and then like, cause this loss can hurt for a minute because you can be like, you can think about this next couple of weeks because you be
Mm-hmm.
like, man, that team it wasn't that good, but at the same time, yeah, our offensive line beat up, but it's like, who is
The
who's
Browns, even with a beat up offensive line, we should have been able to win this game. I just think the play calling wasn't correct. I think we didn't play in the fourth quarter. I don't think we called the correct calls defensively either. I feel like we could make all the excuses, but we were winning this game until the fourth quarter. We had a mental collapse as a team and showed the lack of mental toughness, and we disintegrated down the stretch. Here you come. Hold on. Here come Dr. Smith. Hold on one sec. Let me tap back in. He good to go now. Hold on. All right, Dr. Smith. He back. Let's go.
My
So we
fault, my
just talk.
fault, guys.
That's all
This
good.
is why
So
I can't be like a professional podcaster, right?
and what your ear, bro?
Hey, we were just talking before you hop back on how we were discussing as far as with the offensive line that right out the gate we were using our backups, and against a team this stout on defense that was a problem. But what the VP was saying is that this is part of the Packers' problem. When we're drafting linemen, we're drafting projects that we're trying to build over time instead of people that can play right away. And then when we have a certain amount of injuries, you have to get those guys in there. They're nowhere near uh, ready to play at that point.
I think that there's certainly some validity to that. It was with Jordan Morgan anyway.
Right.
Who's like, you know what I mean? But I don't know that that's always been the problem, right? Because we did
Oh,
draft Corey Linsley, who once upon a time not a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people knew who he was. He ended up being like the best center in football, right? They were good at. They drafted Bakhtiari,
but
who
they,
again
but
these were good,
no,
good.
the difference is they played their position. That's the difference. They played their position they're supposed to be
I was
playing.
going to point to that. I was going to point to
Mm-hmm.
that. That was going to be my thing. Was that they have this thing now where they're cross training guys, and I don't pretend to have like the best acumen when it comes to what they should be looking for as far as O linemen. I would say
Mm-hmm.
this, right? Instead of like cross training people for like 5 different positions, why don't you go out? I absolutely do.
That's funny on multiple levels because it's a dude in here trolling from the Philippines too, so that's what
From
made it
the
funny. But go
Philippines.
ahead, Doctor.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm like VPNing from his network, right? Yeah, no, but I've seen that in a couple of different positions, right?
Right.
Where where you have guys, and I guess the idea is that if an injury should happen, you have multiple people who command the position. So I mean, pros and cons. Today it looked bad. You know what I mean?
Right.
There are days where it does look good and it's a winning strategy. Today it looked bad. If you held my feet to the fire, I agree with Daniel. I would
Right.
prefer later for all of this cross training stuff and go out and get guys who actually
Right.
play their positions. You know what I mean? Right. But more than anything, go out and get some. It seemed like we were changing our minds as far as what we wanted out of offensive linemen, right? We go out and we get someone like Aaron Banks, who's supposed to be a bigger guy, and he looks like he can move people against their
Right.
will. Aaron Banks is broken seemingly all the time, right, since
Right.
he's come to Green Bay. So that's been a massive disappointment. He was broken all through training camp. He's broken through the first couple of games. He's our highest two. That's the problem. Our highest two paid offensive linemen have been broken all through these first three games. Zach Tom got broken like in like the first drive or the second drive of the game against the Lions, and he's been messed up since. And I don't anticipate him coming back anytime soon at all. Right? It's a torn oblique. Right? So go out and get the surgery and stop messing around instead of like limping through the games. Like what's happening to him, I was afraid of happening to Jaden Reed had Jaden Reed not
Mm.
broken his collarbone, which is like stop with this like limping through games.
Right.
Let's just go get fixed. Now, to Jaden Reed's credit, not to get too far off in the weeds or off on a tangent, Jaden Reed wasn't playing like he was hurt. So in his particular case, I was like, all right, well, if you can play and you can take the pain, if your threshold for pain is high enough that you could do that, then cool. Zach Tom's clearly is not. So and different injuries, different it affects you differently, right? So I'm saying all that to say this: I don't anticipate him coming back, and that's a problem. Because if that means that we have to have more Jordan Morgan on the field, that's a problem.
I agree.
You for sure don't
He's
want
not ready.
anyone
He's
like
just not ready yet. He's not
he's
ready.
not ready. He's not ready. I'm trying not to be a toxic fan. I said I'm going to do that this year
Or
with both the
Yeah,
Packers
that's true.
and the Bucks. I'm not going to call these guys out of their name, but
Right.
I am going to call it like I see it. He's terrible right now. He's terrible, and was our first overall pick. He's terrible, right? And newsflash, it doesn't get better further down. I watched that preseason game against the Colts where Donovan Jennings got on the field. Donovan Jennings looked as bad then as Jordan Morgan does now. As in, please don't ever let there be a situation where he gets out on the field. There's too many of these guys that are just big. They're just big, but they
For
don't
nothing.
look strong.
For
Like,
nothing.
yeah,
Right.
exactly. You're just big for nothing. Like, you just look big and soft. Big and soft. That's the worst thing that you could be like in this game. It's soft. You got moved around.
bro,
You
I
got
played
moved around.
like soft man. You
We
bigger than
lost the
me.
physicality battle in this game. We weren't the most fit in the first two games. I would say our physicality won the game. In this game that we lost, I felt like the Browns were more physical.
I don't even know if we won in the first two games, right?
Oh, that's
We
fair.
protected Jordan Love enough that it wasn't a major story, but we weren't run blocking all that well.
That's fair. We
What was
haven't
the
run
story
block
going in?
well. Yeah, Josh
Right.
Jacobs is
Josh Jacobs is a tough, bruisey running back. Give the
42
man
carries, 150, 3.6 yards a carry, so we cannot run.
Right.
I think
So I mean, like, if just give me a runway to start with, so I can get my momentum going downhill. And through three games, he hasn't been able to do that. Not against Detroit, not against Washington, and certainly not today. Today was as bad as I've seen it. So I don't know that like we were winning the physicality game as far as that is concerned. We were just pass blocking well. And then, yeah, no, I'm not gonna go too crazy with the comment. I do think we were pass blocking well, but run blocking, no, I don't think so. Like we don't move people out of the way. And today was as bad as it got. Because today it wasn't just physically weak, it was mentally weak too. Like with the mistakes and the flags and the penalties and everything. I don't like calling people stupid. You know what I mean? You got
Right.
children, you don't like to certain words I just don't like being
Right.
thrown around, and these are young dudes, right? But they're not mentally sharp in moments where we need you to be sharp.
Correct.
And I'm it all the time. There's certain people that are just like frequent flyers on this plane. Rasheed Walker, this is the one who said we can go undefeated, is a frequent flyer on the where. What are you thinking about playing? Like, what are you thinking about right now, man?
Right.
Where are you right now? I'm
We
not
need
gonna
to
call
wake
you.
up against the Cowboys. I want to be real. We cannot play like this against the Cowboys. The Cowboys got offense. The out we can't play like this against the Cowboys. We'll lose if we play like this against the Cowboys. 100%.
We we just lost against the Browns. We just lost against one of the worst teams in football. That's what it
Laughing
is.
stock. Laughing stock.
Exactly. Like so and I'll leave after this, right?
Yeah.
But to the point where like the captains in the room now have to work overtime to keep the room together, because
Mm.
this is where youth can also burn you, especially if you're on
That's a
defense
great point.
and
That's a great point.
and you went out and you balled out and your offense was that bad and we lost the game, and it is entirely your fault, right? Are you going to be emotionally mature enough
To handle that.
to be able to handle and to stay together? Because we are the laughing stock of football right now. Make no mistake about that. I don't enjoy this next week at
Right.
all. It does not matter if we go out and we beat the Cowboys by 50 points. Like, to wash this off, we got to beat like the next 4,
4 or
5,
5
6
team. Right. Yeah. This ain't no one
by
game
like
fix.
points. You know what I mean? So I mean, yeah, we absolutely have to flatline the Cowboys, but then we got to flatline everybody else after that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it was an impose your will game, and we did everything wrong that we needed to do to let, like, how do you a blocked field goal because you can't push the guy back far enough for him to get his hand up? That's weak. That's weak. I mean, throw the X's and O's out. That's bench room, weight room, weak, right? And you're an O lineman. You're supposed to be the big homie.
Right.
You're supposed to be leaning on, like, right, like like the dudes at the shotgun should. You supposed to be big homie. They supposed to be leaning on your shoulders. And y'all look like the
Shout
softest
out for the
people,
URL bars. Shout out for the URL bars. Let's
right?
go.
You look like just the.
Hey, Moose, you see Dr. Smith dropping the URL bars. We got to give him applause. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
for sure. I'm still a fan. I'm getting older. I'm still a fan, but I'm just soft, just
Right.
soft, right? And I will absolutely lose it, Milwaukee, if we go into our season and you have a game like that. And oh, there you go. I'm not the baseball fan, so
Right, there
that'll
we
make me
go.
cry.
Shout out. I know Woodruff is out. He might be out for the playoffs, but we gotta be strong. But shout out to the Brewers.
That's for y'all for sure. That's not for me. I'm not like a baseball fan anymore. But yeah, man. I just we'll see. We got a flat line, like I said, 6, 7 teams in a row for me to feel better about that, because that's about as bad as it gets. It's not like we got beat by world beaters. Them on offense, they were just struggling and fumbling and bumbling, and we still lost that game because our own offense was playing shook and scared and weak. Shook and scared and weak. I should not feel at my height, at my size, like I could mush one of our O linemen in the face, and I really feel
Right.
like that. They look weak. They look weak.
Right.
That's troubling. So
Very. But maybe we needed this fire lit under our butt to take things seriously. Bleacher said it earlier. I really think that we look past this team this week. It's
we
very.
absolutely did.
We look past them.
We
Let's
absolutely
not
did.
sugarcoat it. Let's just keep it real. We look past this team. We look past them. We were looking for our rivals. We always want smoke with the Cowboys. So we was pushing Cleveland aside, and I bet you we already got the game plan in place for the Cowboys. That's how much I think we looked over the Browns. We might already have that game plan in place.
I mean, I was saying just now we absolutely did. I'll be honest, I don't know.
Right.
Rethinking that, I don't know, but I will say this. I don't know that you can game plan for an O-line performance being that bad.
That's
I
true.
keep coming back to that because that to me is, I mean, that was epic bad.
That's fair.
They look like a bunch of running backs trying to block for them guys.
Ah!
You know what I'm saying?
Right, they're trying to chip like a. Yo.
That's what we look like. Our O-linemen look like a bunch of running backs trying to block for Jordan Love out there. And when you're that bad, I don't know that there's, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
whatever game planning we were supposed to have, I think you got to throw half of that out the window. So I really do think that, I mean, this is bad to the point where we may see some changes. Now, I don't believe in firing people after a game or anything like that. I do think that maybe some people need to be promoted, demoted, as in you're on the team, because I don't believe that you get better by just instantly being fired. But
Right.
you don't need to be seeing the field for a good minute until you can like we're talking now military standard. You need to meet some weight standards as far as what you're able to do in the fitness arena. Like it looked that bad. Like I need to see some basics. Like can you pass a fitness test? Because you don't look strong at all right now. Like set
Mm-hmm.
some standards, some baseline standards for our O linemen strength wise, right? They go to the combine, they bench press 225 like a certain amount of times or
Mm-hmm.
whatever. We need to reevaluate some of these guys. Are you still meeting those standards? You met them once upon a time. Are you still meeting those standards, or are you big just because? Just
You're big.
because?
Yeah, genetics, some genetic stuff, right? No,
Yeah,
the
because
injury
good
bug.
life
It's just
that.
so crazy how the injury bug just hits the Packers. I've been talking about this for years. We just a lot of injuries. Just we're always
Whoever the
battling
insurance,
injury. Yeah,
that's the person to get fired.
that's that. Oh my god. Let me before we get up out. Let's talk about this real quick. First to you, Dr. Smith, and then to Bleacher. Dr. Smith, what are your after this performance? What are your expectations next week against the Dallas Cowboys?
I look like I honestly I don't know what to expect, right? Because I do think that Dallas's strength is definitely their offense.
Correct.
I think our strength, I think without question, is our defense.
Mm-hmm.
I used to say that we were balanced. I still think that we're balanced. I'm not going to
It just
throw us
made us a
out
bad game.
completely,
What did it say? Bad game.
right? But I think that there's definitely a blinking light, like warning blinking light on our offense, and I think it starts with our offensive line. Now
Facts.
I'm not terrified of Dallas's defensive line. Obviously, they got Kenny Clark over there
Mm-hmm.
now, um, but I think I'm more concerned with the psyche of our team, right? Because that was like the
Mm-hmm.
first game. This was all a part of the narrative, right? All the Packers, they played the first two games at home. The naysayers were saying this, right? The little bit of naysayers that we had, because there was definitely a lot of positive hype around this team,
Mm-hmm.
but there were some negative naysayers, and the counter argument was, is the hype too much? and
Right.
and we're gonna have to deal with the fact that a lot of people will say, "Oh, it is." You lose to one of the worst teams in football, you're gonna get you're gonna
Yeah,
have that
we're gonna
on
have a tough week. This is gonna be a tough week for the media. It's gonna be, and it's
you. Right?
deserved.
Well deserved. Well deserved. You're gonna get belt to ass
Right.
all week from the media, and you
Hundred
deserve
percent.
it. And
100%.
now, how do you respond to that? Right? Because I think their offense against our defense, I would still take my defense comfortably. I don't think my defense was the problem in this game. But how our offense, in particular, our offensive line responds to any competition, whether it's Dallas or anybody,
Mm-hmm.
is going to be something that I'm paying attention to for a good minute, because that was like it was that bad.
I
It was
agree.
like worse in the league bad. It was worse in the league bad. You are
Mm-hmm.
now a candidate for being the worst offensive line in the league. You're a candidate. I'm not going
I
to go out and completely say that they're terrible, but that was the worst performance that I've seen from a Green Bay O line, and like shockingly bad. So we'll see. We'll see. I
right.
think I've drilled that point home.
All
Man,
right,
certain guys
we definitely gotta pay attention to that. Definitely gotta pay attention.
you can't get on the plane.
Appreciate you, Doctor
You
Smith.
can't get on the plane. You got to go to
He
the weight
gotta
room.
walk.
You can't get on the plane. Simple as that. You cannot get on the plane. Did you go to the weight room? Did you do your set? 3 to 5 sets, 18 to 20 reps. Did you do it? You can't get on the plane.
Right.
Uber
And
back
and we gonna get
after.
you some.
I
And we
don't
gonna
know
get
how
you some
long
TRT.
the exactly. You need to figure it. You need some strength training. You need some
Hey,
strength training.
right. Hey, get Bobby Bonds to
Good.
train. Oh,
Right.
I said Bobby Bonds. Barry Bonds to train him. Get in the weight room with Barry. Get in the weight room with Barry. McGuire, somebody. You need some help. You need some milk. Damn, man.
Yeah.
I I
Exactly.
just think it'll be better next week. I honestly do feel like we'll show the real Packers next week, but this was an unnecessary loss that we did not have to suffer. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. On you though, Bleacher.
Well, my thing is Packers at first gonna have to look themselves in the mirror. First
Mm,
of all, like like I said before, like I just knew it was gonna be a tough game. I just thought that they overlooked the Cleveland Browns. I know we know they're not that good, but
Right.
we just knew that defensive line was going to. Sports know how to call some defense, so I was
Right.
giving him. We could have won this game. They just not executing these guys. I just think Jordan Morgan should be benched for now until
Correct.
he played up because it was a couple of times he was getting destroyed. He was getting destroyed. Stand what he was doing. I mean, and then the guys who's injured, Zach Tom probably's not going to probably play next week.
Right.
I don't know. Herb was
Banks.
struggling a little.
Right.
It was. This is why I just hate when we sign guys for big contracts and they just ain't showing up. They just not playing. And then
It's
they,
early in the season, so I want to give him a little time, but yeah, I'm with you on that.
I'll get it on time, but the media is gonna get rip them a new one. And then you get people talking complaining about, oh yeah, why the fans always get to say something, and why media always got to say they play the game. I'm like, stop it, shut
Right.
up.
Right.
Fans deserve to rip on you. We paid the money, the tickets, all that stuff, TV,
Right.
streaming stuff. Get out of here.
No,
We
I
have
agree. And we got high expectations for them as well. We have high expectations for the Packers, and when you're a great team, you don't have trap games and you don't lose the teams that are underneath you. These should be easy wins. This should have been a game where we came in and we ended this by the third quarter, where some of the others, Malik Willis, should have got playing time today. It should have been something like that. And for us to let it blow up in our face like that, I really think that this team need to do some soul searching this week, and they really need to come out against the Cowboys fast and prove a point fast. Like
right.
we can't have another one of these anemic starts and just blame the defense. We definitely can't do that.
No, we cannot. I just think that they're gonna have to play
Mm-hmm.
better next two. This
Agreed.
is Sunday night. Just bright lights.
And that's the thing. It's on the stage. And if there's any time to redeem yourself, it's on the stage. It's set now. You guys just shamed yourself. Now you can redeem
Right.
yourself in front of everyone. It is time to do that. All the eyes will be on that game 100%. And it's time for the Packers to show up and show out.
Let's
Period.
get
Yeah,
On the
period.
bright side,
Mm-hmm.
the Bucks go into training camp, and I think in 8 days, 9 days, and
Uh-huh.
whatever. How you got about that?
ready for it too.
Hey, don't worry, them lives is coming. We about to be active. It's gonna be
Yeah,
Packers,
yeah,
Bucks,
yeah,
Brewers. It's about to be active. It's definitely about to
yeah,
be
yeah,
active.
yeah.
All right, appreciate y'all tapping in. I gotta get to some of these husband duties real quick, so appreciate
Yeah,
y'all
for sure.
tapping in. All right,
All right,
y'all
peace,
bro,
peace.
go. All right, man. Tap in Brandon before we get up out of here. Go ahead, Brandon.
What up?
What up?
I think I'm not gonna be honest.
Mm,
So I think the Packers gave this game away.
yeah.
I think they too focusing on this Cowboy matchup.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
They looking at the mid at the real view. So I think today is a tough. This
Mm-hmm.
was a tough game going into.
No, I agree.
I think Jordan Love has to protect the football.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. That interception was tough. That
I
interception was
think
tough.
I think he need to get Mackie Goldie some more touches. He needs to get the Mackie Goldie some more yards.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, without Katie Wee and Christian Watson.
I think that the lack of we couldn't protect the quarterback is why we couldn't establish a lot of the plays we wanted to run. Is just we didn't have any protection for the quarterback, and that's just kind of what cost us. To be honest, we couldn't control the offensive line. Uh, we couldn't run the football. Passing was anemic. We got out we just got outplayed today when it mattered most. That's just really what happens. And as a young team, we kind of folded under the pressure, and we just gotta hope next week, which I think they will. They'll rise to the occasion, and we'll have a good game against the Cowboys.
Like, I think so. Because I think the market flag and penalty card, I think
Mm-hmm.
they need to figure that out.
Right. No, exactly. So we just gotta play better. We really lay the egg here. You don't like to leave games on the table, but we just gotta use this as motivation to know now moving forward that every team deserves your 100% undivided attention.
Right,
That's one thing I like about Tom Brady. When he's talking about football, he treats every team the same. Like you're a championship team. He's studying the film the same. And that's the type of discipline that you need to go to multiple Super Bowls and win multiple Super Bowls. And if the Packers want to get on that track, we have to treat every team with respect and treat them like they're a championship caliber team. Because when you don't, things like today happen. Yes, we had injuries, but even with that, we should have been able to beat this team. And it was a lack of mental toughness down the stretch that cost us. Period.
right.
But go ahead real quick before we get up out of here, Brady. Mm-hmm.
I think we should have been up more touchdown.
Right,
Been up in this game.
right.
So, Packer Nation, it's all good. I think we're gonna come out the game strong in the next week.
Agreed. All right. Yeah, appreciate you, Brady.
No
Uh,
problem. One day at a time, take it one life at a time. I
all
got
right.
y'all next week. Let's keep
Uh,
it going.
all right, Brandon, go. All right, y'all. We about to get up out of here. Tough loss. We'll recover. We're gonna be Sunday night football next week. Bright lights against the Cowboys. So I think we're gonna show up and show out, y'all. But this was a lot to unpack today. If you haven't already, hit the like button. I'm Amber. This is Amber's Logic. Green Bay Packers trades, rumors, and news. We just got to discussing the fourth quarter collapse loss of the Green Bay Packers versus the Cleveland Browns. Comment, like, subscribe, and share the electrifying content.